Hey, Shalom. All praises, honor, glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elder bishops, the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to you fellow brothers pushing out this word. In truth and sincerity, Shbechanak. Coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh. Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha Kodash. Shalom, shalom to the Lord's elect. Okay. This is going to be a relatively quick lesson. Spirit's on me to bring out this point. Just the things that, just been noticing, especially as, America went into Iran. But really recently, within the last couple of years, especially now that a lot of things are coming out, a lot of secrets are being revealed amongst the wicked elite, the inner workings of the so-called illuminated ones and their plans for world domination and the implementation of RFID microchip. And a lot of these supposed conspiracies that have been spoken about over the last decade, 2 decades, whatever you want to call it, right? They're starting to become clear that they weren't actually a conspiracy, but they were actually true. They were conspiracy truths. And then now everybody wants to, open up the scriptures to try to get an understanding of what's going on in the world today, because it's total chaos and confusion, and it can leave you in awe, because it's like it doesn't make sense. Why are these people doing this? Don't they see that they're leading us to World War III? Don't they see that this is not good? It's like your leaders are incompetent. So now people are turning to, podcasters and different intellectuals and different scholars and, individuals that are trying to make sense of the current events. And some of them are trying to tie it to biblical prophecy. Some of them are trying to bring out scriptures, and they know certain things, but they fail. They ultimately fail at the inner workings, the inner secrets of how things are actually going to play out. Okay. Let me bring out a scripture, because they'll bring up particular thing like Professor Jang. I've been watching him over the last year, and he's been like a real big individual that everybody wants on their podcast, and and he can speak intellectually, and he has a very great understanding of geopolitics and even eschatology, which is the study of the end. Basically prophecy, and he said certain things that are good. He knows a lot of different things, but he comes short when it comes to what's actually going to happen. And see, that's where the blessing of this truth comes in, this gift, the gift of faith, the understanding of, Yahweh Shema Shai, which sets us apart from all other nations. Okay, even amongst the children of Israel, all right, because the Most High, he has given us his secrets, and we might get that. This is quick. Luke 10:21. In that hour, Yahweh Shai rejoiced in spirit and said, I thank thee, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, that thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent. And it's crazy that these individuals are starting to now speak about these things on mainstream platforms, and people are starting to listen to them. And I'm like, the apostles and elder bishops, they were saying this years back, and they were being scoffed at. It wasn't popular to talk about concentration camps. It wasn't popular to talk about RFID microchips and cashless societies. Okay, and what the elite do to children. Okay, and their secret religion, and they're sacrificing. Okay, and ultimately how America's going to go to war with Russia, and how Iran is going to be part of that, Persia, okay, and how all America's allies are going to turn on America. These are the things that are actually happening now. And the apostle elder bishops, they've been speaking about this. But now it's popular to say amongst these so-called talking heads. Okay, these so-called intellectuals, these wise men of this world, the prudent of this world that can break certain things down. People are listening to them. They want to, and it's amazing, But hey, I believe the Apostle Gabar says, this is a thankless job. Okay, which we don't need. We don't need praise from these people because ultimately they got it wrong. They have it wrong. They know certain things, but they have it wrong, and they're all going to be confounded. Okay? It says, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, that thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent, and hast revealed them unto babes. Okay, and we are the babes. Okay? We are those babes. We are those children. All right, we're not looked at as anybody of any stature or importance in this world. Okay, people still scoff at, our doctrine, which is the doctrine of Yahweh Shai. Even so, Father, for so it seemed good in thy sight. Okay, and the Lord, he's doing this. Let me get 1 Corinthians. What is that? Is that 1 Corinthians or 2 Corinthians? Give me a second. Bear with me. We got to be 1 Corinthians. The Heavenly Father is doing this so no man can boast in his sight. It's the ultimate underdog story. Okay, the ultimate underdog story. The so-called, nobodies of this society. The so-called uneducated, non-mainstream, crazies, right? This is how the world pitches us. But we're the ones who got it right. And none of them are speaking about how America is going to be destroyed. Even Professor Jang, when he says a lot of good things, he's a so-called Moabite, and he could break certain things down. And I even hear him talk about the sea hip. How they want to put chips in their bloodstream and monitor everything. Yeah, he got that right. And he will even say it's the mark of the beast. He got that right. But when it comes to America being destroyed, the missiles flying off, okay, Yahweh Shai coming back, he's clueless, and they're all clueless. But best believe you, they have heard, okay, they have heard this doctrine, and a lot of them are taking particular talking points, taking particular scriptures that we bring out and trying to act like they're bringing it out, but they're doing it deceitfully and without understanding. Okay, 1 Corinthians, 1 and 18, for the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness. Yes, these individuals that are getting ready to die, our doctrine ultimately is foolishness unto them. But unto us which are saved, it is the power of the Most High. Yeah, it's when you really, the closer we get to the end, the more appreciative you are of the position that we're in. Okay, even though we're in heavy positions, positions of, sorrow and affliction, okay, and tribulation. And we think about the coming time of trouble, even in our particular situation now, brothers are sick, demons attacking you at all, literally in your sleep, when you wake up, throughout the day. Okay. The fight in the flesh. Okay. Staying diligent, like I said, fighting those demons, having issues, it's a lot going on, but we still push through that. But as we get closer to the end, we appreciate even more, all right, this truth, this knowledge, okay, because everybody's bugged out, and they're trying to make sense of what's going on. They're trying to make sense. It's a beautiful thing. It's like, They got that look on. It's that look in their eyes, like it's the end. It's the end. Okay, and they're trying to make themselves feel better, like it's not going to happen. And these regular people are searching for somebody that can articulate and break it down and comfort them. But it's only going to get bad, and we're telling that it's going to get even worse. Okay, where everybody is getting ready to be confounded, save the elect, and this is why, Isaiah the 13th chapter speaks about I shall make a man more precious than fine gold. Now I did a video the other day. It was probably close to 30-40 minutes, and when I go to save the video, only 24 seconds of the video saved. And I was going into how the Lord, just that, I started with that precept in Isaiah 13, how the man of the Lord is going to be a very precious commodity in that time, because we can make sense of everything through the lens of biblical prophecy. All right. And we're sure, we're not wavering. We're not saying, I don't know. Maybe, I think. No, we're speaking in definiteness. If I said that right. Definitives. Okay. Absolutes. I should say that. All right. We're speaking in absolutes. Okay. And nobody can do that. And if they do, they're going to be confounded. Every last one of them. Okay. Every last one of them. A lot of them are going to die off. And then they're going to search for somebody else that can make sense of the matter. Okay. And they're all going to be confounded. For as is written, verse 19, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise. Yeah, the wise in this world are able to break down certain things and know history that can go deep into, particular things. Whitney Webb, Professor Jane, Tucker Carlson. And a lot of them are plants. Some of them are not. Some are genuine, so-called. Okay. But when it comes to actually eschatology, let's look at this word eschatology, because that's being thrown around a lot. Eschatology. Right. Eschatology is the branch of theology, which is the study. Theology is the study of God. Theo meaning God, a Greek word. Eschatology is the branch of theology concerned with the last things. Basically, it's the study of the end, including death, judgment, afterlife, and the ultimate destiny of humanity and the universe. And these regular people, these other nations, they don't have that understanding. And everybody's religion is now being tested, is being tried. Islam is being tried. Okay. Christianity is being tried. 5% is being tried. Egyptology is being tried. Okay. Because they don't tell you what's getting ready to happen. Okay. And none of their gods are saving them. Okay. The God of Islam is not coming to the rescue of Iran. Okay. There's been evil things that have been going on. The wicked elite, okay, have been, kidnapping children, doing all these. You've heard of it. You know what it is. And nobody can make sense of it. Nobody's being arrested. Nobody can make sense of it. Okay. No justice is being served. The same people that do these things, they're starting wars, they're destroying people, and they get off with it. And no religion, no way of life. Where the Arabs ain't saying nothing. The Iranians ain't, nobody's saying, the Chinese ain't saying nothing, because they all do it. They're all into it. Okay? Esau, he's just no limit with it. That's all. But they're all into it. They all do it on the elite and on the lower scale. Okay. Even amongst Jake, not to the extent of doing sacrifice, certain Jakes that get into that realm, but Jake be be popping little boys, and Jake is wicked too. But they're all these nations, they do it, and they're trying to make sense of, okay, what is humanity? Then you got Esau talking about there's aliens, there's UFOs, and this challenges all these different religions. But see, here at Great Millstone to be in particular, okay, the Most High gave it to us all. He told us everything. We know about what the world called UAPs. We understand that these are, okay, the vehicles of the angels. Okay, we can understand it through the biblical lens. Okay, and we also are not ignorant of Satan devices. So everybody is trying to make sense of the end, and they're turning. And I'm gonna get Isaiah the 19th chapter. They're trying to make sense of the end, and they're turning to individuals to try to break it down to them to find, so they can find comfort, because everybody is being challenged on their belief. Okay, and you're gonna see a lot of people fail that challenge. They're gonna take the MOTB, because this is all gonna lead to that. And we haven't seen anything yet. This is just the beginning. Like, the hour of temptation is not called the hour of temptation for a reason. Okay, if I said that right. All right, it's called the hour of temptation for a reason, because we're going to be in some heavy times. The Western world has never experienced famine. Okay, they have never experienced the plagues that are getting ready to strike this place. Okay, Egypt was brought to its knees. Could you imagine the elite of Egypt, the ruling class, even just the average Egyptian, that were far better than the Israelites, being broken down systematically with different plagues? That's getting ready to happen to the Western world, especially Babylon. And it's all because of what you've done to the children of Israel. Okay, the real Israelites. Okay, everybody is seeing what those small hats are doing. Everybody's pointing the finger. That's right out of the Bible. And a lot of them are, and you know, a lot of these individuals that these people look up to, they watch us. But it's all good. We don't need the credit. Okay, that's not, we're the prophets. Okay, for it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, and will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent. And that goes also for Edom. Okay, the wise men of Teman. Okay, you can go in Jeremiah 49, also Isaiah 47, where it says, "Stand now with thy enchantments and the multitude of thy sorceries," because Esau believes that he's in control. He's been given power to manipulate things, and you know, his plans were working, and you know, he was prudent and wise, and he has his technology, and he's able to deceive the people's minds and control them and make, you know, socially engineer them to do particular things, say things through psychology and sociology, you know, the study of the mind, and you know, tampering with the food and programming through the television, right? All right, poison them through the food and the water and different disasters and psyops. He was able to do that, but he's never been in control. It's slipping out of his hands. He's not in control like he makes it seem like he is. Okay, he's in a drunken. And we're gonna go to Isaiah 19, but let me finish this. Where's the wise? Where's the scribe? Where's the disputer of this world? Has not the Most High made foolish the wisdom of this world? Because the wisdom of this world, they're trying to understand it and break it down, and it's all being confounded. It's all being confounded. They truly actually don't know what the hell is going on. They're trying to make sense of it. At best, they're guessing. They're having educated guesses. You know, certain individuals are very well studied. But see, for you to say, like Professor Jane, that he doesn't believe the nuclear missiles are going to be fired off, is either he's sold out, or he's just he's not well informed, because he's still going by man's logic. But he'll throw a little bit of scripture in there. He doesn't, or maybe he doesn't want to scare his audience. Nevertheless, he's not a prophet. Okay. And you can go, let me jump down to 27. But the Most High has chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. Okay, that we would be considered the foolish. We will be considered fools in this world. Okay, we're out there screaming at the top of our lungs. Even Jake, the majority of the individuals who make fun of this are Israelites. Esau doesn't really make fun of this. Very few. Esau just says what you're saying is not true. Because Esau, he actually listens to the message. He actually considers. Okay, and he knows he's the devil. Okay, Esau actually considers. Esau goes to the history. Esau reads the book. Okay, he doesn't allow his emotions to take control. Our people, they're the scriptures say they're sottish, which is stupid, and that's a befitting word for 2/3 of our people. Okay, the Most High has blinded their eyes. He has hardened their heart. He has closed their ears. Okay, so even amongst our people, we are considered foolish. Them Hebrew Israelite niggas. Okay. But the Most High has chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And the Most High has chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. Okay. The wise and prudent and mighty of this world. You went to Harvard, Yale, Princeton. If you, I'm a Princeton graduate or I'm a Yale graduate, people are going to already automatically look at you, like you're just this great man of understanding. Okay. And you got it all together. You got it all together and you understand everything and what you say is law. And nah, you just speak with more authority than the average person, and you know more facts. But when it actually comes to, all right, what's getting ready to happen in the future? Okay, what is the meaning of life? We're the only ones on this earth that know what the meaning of life is. Like we there's people walking around the earth that don't know what the meaning of life. Don't know. They might say that God created them, but they don't know. They actually don't know the Most High. They don't know what he looks like. They don't know his characteristics. All they say, he's love. All right, well then why is there so much goddamn hate in the earth? When you ask them that question, they literally can't. You could just see it in their eyes. It doesn't compute. It's like telling your dog, you telling your dog, hey, go in there and cook me a steak. Okay. And make sure you slice onions and, we got some butter. Oh, here's the keys. Go get in the car, go to the store and get some butter. And you're literally talking to your dog. It can't come. That frequency cannot come inside their mind. They've been tuned out and turned off. So they're literally ready. They're ready for the destruction, man. It's going to be legendary. Okay. And the base things of the world, we would be considered the base, the low. But guess what? They're watching. They're watching us. Okay, everything that's going on. All right, starting from the Elder Apostle Tahar, Gabar, Apostle Orion Lob, Elder Apostle Tahar, Elder Apostle Gabar, Elder Apostle Orion Lob, Elder Apostle Rakah, all the elder bishops, the elders before them. Okay. And then us, us that came in our particular lots, we've been telling you these things are happening before they happen, years before. And it's going exactly how, the prophets told you what happened, because the Most High is only dealing with the prophets. He's not dealing with nobody else. He's not dealing with the king. Okay? He's not dealing with the high priest. All right? He's not dealing with the presidents. Okay? He's not dealing with no other nation. The Moabites, so-called Chinese. Where the hell is the Chinese? What do they have to say? They're just saying we're gonna continue to be the Chinese, and we're gonna overcome. Like, bro, y'all about to be smitten. All right, them wild ass Arabs, they're ready to die for their cause. Okay? Bear with me. Okay? Nope, really, nobody has the answer. You could just ask. They just don't know. You got people that are still in the party spirit. Still want to go to church spirit. Plan birthday parties and plan weddings. Or in that same lesson, or was it a different lesson? I forget. I was going into how it was in the days of Noah, in the days of Lot. Okay, how they were eating, they were drinking, they were giving in marriage to that very same hour. And the Most High took their ass out. Okay. Let me bring this out. Amos 3:7. Surely the Most High, or surely the Lord power, will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servant, unto his servants, the prophets. Servants, the prophets. So the prophets are the Most High servant. Through Yahweh Shai, who the world in there calls Christ. You got Israelites that still call on Christ. You definitely know that they don't know what the hell is going on. Okay. But let me go back to 1 Corinthians 1. I'm going to read 28. Okay, I'm going to read 28 again. And the base things of the world and the things which are despised has the Most High chosen, see? Yea, and the things which are not, to come to not things that are. All right, so everything's going to, like I said, the weapon of our warfare are not carnal, but mightily through the pulling down of strongholds. Okay? Everything is being pulled down. Nothing else makes sense. Esau being the wicked, that makes sense. Okay, us being the Israelites, that makes sense. Okay? America being destroyed, that makes sense. The UAPs, so-called UAPs being the chariots, that makes sense. All those things make sense. But the Most High got to put the sense in you to be able to see. Verse 29, that no flesh should glory in his presence, right? Because, people will be able to, boast in their intellect, boast in their knowledge, their wisdom, their sophistication, their prudence. Okay? And we're just regular men. We do not know, you got certain brothers that went to, college and stuff like that, but that's all bullshit. Okay, that's all bullshit. I was going to go to Isaiah 19. I'm going to say that for another lesson. All right, till next time. Shalom, till